Okay, so Python, we discussed there are basic data types in Python. So where the integers, double, float, those are considered as the integer, float, string. Those are Boolean. So those are basically basic data types. And today now we are have to discuss about the other part, which is mainly about the complex data types. So we have 3 data types under that. So list, tuple, 4 data types: list, tuples, dictionaries, and sets. So let me explain this quickly. These are like strings. These are similar to strings. String වලට සමානයි මේවා. So you have lists, tuples, dictionaries, which are similar to strings. So why I'm telling this is similar to string today? Okay, let's say, let me start writing a code. Okay, let's write a string first. So string is not a complex data type, it's a basic data type, right? So let me run this, and why I'm telling string is a basic data type. If you define a string එක define කරත්, let's say ABC is a string. It has ICT or information technology as a string, and you can take ABC strings. You can print actually ABC 0th item, which is I, or the first letter. So it is starting from 0 index. Here also you can see starting from 0. The item numbering starting from 0. So starting from 0, it's moving up to the length -1, because we have, let's say, the length is the number of characters. So let's print the length. Print length of ABC. So it says the number of characters. It's 22. If you print the ABC list 21 or 21st item, so it is the last character Y. So why is that? Starting from 0. So it's starting from 0, so it will go up only up to 21, so not to 22, even though there are 22 characters altogether, including 0. 0 ඇතුළත තමයි 22ක් තියෙන්නේ. So the first one is 0, then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 21. 20, yes, 21. Starting from 0 to 21, you have characters. Right? You have starting from 0 to 21, there are characters. So you can, let's say, let's print 20th character. The 20th character will be a G. The 20th character will be G. And if you print the second character, it is INF. F is the second. So if you print the first character index, it is letter N. If you print the 0th character, you see, so that it is 0. So that is the 0th character. So likewise, you can print from 0 to 21st index, right? 0 to 21st index. So these are the character numbering, right? So this is positive numbering. The other side, we have the negative numbering. So what is negative numbering? So when you print the negative minus, when you print the negative minus, it is the last character, which is letter Y. So the -2 will be the next immediate character, G. -3 will be the next immediate character, letter O. Likewise, continuing up to -22. That is the length. It is capital I. Okay. Another way of doing this is, if you want to print the last character, you can say print ABC -1. So that will simply give the last character. Or, so another way of doing that, you can tell the ABC, then you can calculate the length of ABC, which is number of characters, and -1. So that is 22 minus 1 will be 21, will be the last letter again. To print the first letter, you have 2 methods similar to this. So one is just print in the 0th character, it will print the 0th letter. And the another one is just printing the length of ABC, but as a minus value, minus length of ABC. So it will be again minus. So printing the first character using the length is minus length of the string. Or printing the last character using the length is the positive length minus 1. So which is 21 here, actually 22 here, minus 22 or plus 21. So these are the ways of accessing string or positions of the string. So do we need to write down this, or shall we continue to the note? What do you think? String, do you need to write, or can you remember that? Okay, please write down then. So you're not responding to any questions, so please write down there as a question. So accessing indexes in simple data type string. Accessing indexes in string, in a string. It is indexed starting from 0, and the last index, the length of last index is the length of string within bracket number of characters minus 1. Okay, then you can just write down this example. Just write down this example. Is it? Now, so we know how the list indexing happens. It is similar to the what do you call this? String indexing. List indexing also similar to the string indexing. The difference between list and index: list can hold multiple type of data, but where string can hold only characters. String can keep only characters, but list can keep multiple type of data. Means you can define a list like this. So here you can see the list has string items. The second list has integer items. And it is possible. It is possible to mix these items too. The string items and integer items and different items can be mixed. So see here. Sorry, I have to share the entire screen. See here. So the first list has only strings. The first list has only strings. If we define this, you can get the 0, name 1, name 2, like similar to the previous. You can get that. Or a string game, similar to that, you can get these items, and even minus 1 is the last item. That is net me, and you can get the length of name minus 1. That will also give the last item, and if you give minus length, that will give the first item. Okay, this is how it gets. And not only this, it is possible to save, let's say, mixed list. Any type of item in the list. You can put a number. You can put a number. Floating point 1. Maybe a hexadecimal number. maybe a binary number, maybe a octal number, then it can be string, it can be true, false, Boolean value, or it can be scientific numbering. So you can put any kind of data in a list. Or it can even be another list. Or it can even be another list. Let's say another list. So it is possible to store any kind of item in a list. That's the difference between the traditional string and a list. List can hold multiple type of data. So how to get these items then? Mix LINL. You can print you can say the 0th one, that is 12, and if you print the -1, that is the last list. Make it in a list last, and you can even call a sub item inside that. AK 0, then it will print 1, right? 0 of this list. So likewise, you can access multiple levels here. So that is called multi-dimensional, right? So please write here. I think you have written this how to define an empty list, right? How to define an empty list. Mixed list. Under that, please write, it is possible to mix data types and keep it in a single list. It is also possible to define multi-dimensional lists. And this is the example. This is an example. And then write down this, how to add add items and how to display the items. And also write down the question. I'll explain that. So after that, please write down adding new items, display items one by one, and display all the items. I'll explain that. Now after that, write the questions, and I'm going to explain that now. At 10 random numbers, sorry, yes, at 10 random numbers to empty list without adding duplicates. Supporting code එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා. Here this is how do you get a random number, right? So this is a supporting code. So think about using this supporting code and adding these 10 numbers. So why supporting code is given? Because this code has some areas to study where how to get a random number, etc. You can import RANDOM, random, and from that you can define even mark these empty list. So one way of doing this is this, or you can say list then the brackets. ඒ විදිහටත් පුළුවන් empty list එකක් හදන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් marks කියලා නිකම්ම කොටුව අරන් මෙහෙම දැම්ම empty list එකක් හැදෙනවා. Then you have to append. For k in range 10 times, what you have to do, you get a random number. To get a random number, you can say random dot rand int එකත් 100ත් අතර, right? 1 to 100. The random should be, okay, let's print it first. Print x, and then you will understand what is this random. Random int dot py. Let's save this and run this. Okay, then you can see it's generating random numbers between 1 to 100. Between 1 to 100, it's generating random numbers. Then you have to append these numbers. Then you have to append these numbers to the list. How? You can use marks dot append. Then you can add the X. But one thing is you cannot add repetitive numbers. Do not add duplicates. So that, because sometimes your random can be duplicate numbers. We'll say, let's do that and let's print the marks. Sometimes, here you can see, it's a duplicate. Two times. But you have to avoid that. You can you have to avoid that. Okay, do that by avoiding the duplicates. Duplicates avoid kalla karanna balanna. Duplicates atayarala randoms add karanna balanna. Duplicate atayarala random add karanna. You can use this code. Make a code and use karanna puluwa. Duplicate atayarala random add karanna thiye. Check karanna. You have to check the list. How? So before appending, you can check if this X not in the list, then only you have to append that. If X not in marks, then append. Okay, then there will be a problem. Then make a problem. So why? Because if there are duplicates, let's print the marks. So no duplicate, 10 items are there. So let's do it again. Duplicate tibbot item gana 10ට වැඩි අඩු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, still you get 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Duplicate tibbot තාම duplicate නැහැ. Let's run it again. Print it again. Still no duplicates. වෙලාවට duplicate නැහැ. හරි මේක මෙහෙම දාමු. Branded between 10, then අනිවාර්යෙන් duplicate වෙනවනේ. එකක් 10ත් අතර ඒවනේ. 1 to 10. So then what will happen? You can see when you print it, it's only 1 2 3 4 5 6. Others are duplicates. Duplicates are removed. Then what? Then මොකද කරන්නේ? So since there are duplicates, what Nadun has done, random, if the random in marks, then Rn equals 0. What is Rn equals 0? Is Rn random. Then for make a code එක හරි Nadun. හැබැයි වා duplicate එකක් තියෙනකොට ඒක 0 වෙලා 0 add වෙනවනේ. else තමයි මේක වෙන්නේ. ඔයා k in range 50 දාලානේ. එතකොට 50 පාරක් මේක වෙනවා. This will happen 50 times, not 10 times. Okay, to do this, you have to use something like this. I'm thinking not to use for loop. I'm using while loop. Okay, let's say k equal 1, k equal 0, while k less than or equal to 10. Right? So I'm generating the random. After generating the random, I'm adding that. And after adding, I'm adding k equal k plus 1. Random එක add වුණාට පස්සේ විතරයි. After adding the number, I'm incrementing this. For loop එකේ දිගටම increment වුණානේ. Even though the duplicate or not, for loop has it. But the while loop, I can control that. In while loop, only if added, it's increasing this. Now let's see, let's run this now. And let's see the results. Now I'm printing this mark. Something wrong, I think. Else part is missing, right? I think. Yeah. Still started it. I had to kill that. So why? For k equals 0, yeah. K equals 0. Then generating the random. If x is not in marks, appending k equal k plus 1. Else Just make a k equal k. K equal the current key. I'm not incrementing. Okay, let's do it now. Still it runs. Print marks. That's not printing. Something wrong here. Wait. Let me calculate the random and int is taken, and I'm printing that random in printing x. If x not in mark, appending. Okay, let's say k equal k plus 1 here also. Just want to print the number. Okay, you can see numbers are printed 10 times. Here I have to say less than, right? 10 times. 0 to 10 numbers are printed. Okay, then duplicates need to be avoided. Here, this one. X not in marks, then the append should happen. Otherwise, no appending. No appending. Okay, let's do like this. Let's terminate this when the length is equal, right? I think that is better. K equal k plus 1, I'm keeping it here. While k, okay, while true, I'm doing this. Always I'm doing this. Getting a random, adding that, increasing the k. And how I'm going to terminate? I'm going to terminate if length of marks equal to 10, then I have to break. Let's see about this now. Okay, done. Then let me print the marks. You can see it's not having any duplicates. It's not having any duplicates. This works. Right? I'm running while true. While true means continuous while loop. Continuous while loop, and I'm generating the number. You can see some duplicates are generated, but I'm checking whether this number in marks. If it is in marks, I'm not adding, but if it is not in the marks, I'm adding that. After adding that, I'm incrementing k. So while loop is keep running. So it's keep running the while loop. So this is also not required. K equal k plus 1 is also not required because while true will definitely run without k, right? K is not a controller. So k we can remove because while true is always running. While true is always running. You can see. So it has generated a lot of numbers, but if you print that, it will only keep the numbers which are unique. But I can give numbers up to 100, right? Then this will be very quick. No need to get this much of randoms. Finally, you are printing the marks. That can also be done. Okay, here it is. No need to print here. And finally, let's do something like this. Okay. I need to add one more thing, that is generating random, appending it. And if 10 randoms are filled, so stop, break. Okay, that will happen. And I just want to assign everything into a function. Let's say def. Assign everything into a function. Def add nums is my function name, right? Add nums is my function name. So I'm going to assign everything into that function now. Okay, you can write down this now, Bhute. So just do this now. Just do it now. So I can call the function right now. Just add nums. And that will add 10 random numbers and print that. Next step, you can see another 10 random numbers. 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 Now it's always generating 10 random numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 numbers. You can write the code with it. Looping through the lists, there are few methods. So one is, so you can just print the entire list like this, but so the first way is you can just give for I in range, you can move to the indexes, access indexes, print I and names I. So just accessing the index, and as well as using the index, you are accessing the list item, right? So please write down this method. This is how you access. You access basically you access the list and index both. So let me write down this here, and I'm going to run this now. You can see the list, index, and here index and the list item. You are accessing the index and the list item using the index. The next is easy. So you can use for loop to do the same. Or you can just access the element. Element means, so you can write a list here again. Let's say for k in names directly, right? For k in names, print k. So very simple. So that will simply print the list item, not the index. Index kelim item access karna. Or you can use while loop to do the same. Right? You can say for loop here using same but while loop and accessing the element. Right? Accessing the element here. These are accessing element, the third way. Or you can just print using this, just one by one, the element and also the index. Right? I'll explain each and everything. So first go through this and write down. Iterate in through lists. Just write down until this. Then I'll explain this. I'll explain this. Just use 5 minutes, write down it quickly, right? කොහොමද වෙන්නේ කියලා print the පළවෙනි එක, right? පළවෙනි එක, so you can say for I in range index 0 to last index, then it's accessing index by index. The second one is just accessing by the element, right? Element by element. This is index by index, this is element by element. And what is this one? This is also element by element, and this is a while loop for index by. So you can just start from I equals 0 while you can say I less than or equal to length of okay, I less than length of names maybe. Then you can just print I and names I, then increment this by 1, I equal I plus 1. So that is also accessing index by index. Okay, just items, then sorry, indexes, items, indexes. Then the next one, so this next one is this one we discuss. This is for the marks, same thing, right? Same list. And this is again now. So if you want to print indexes in this, then you have to introduce another variable. Let's say j equals 0. For k in names, print k, and you can just say k and j and k, and then you can just increase j equal j plus 1. So j is a counter. Count එකක් විදිහට වෙනම අපිට j ව maintain කරන්න පුළුවන්. So print in j. So that will give additional indexing feature to the for loop. For loop එක index feature එක නැහැ. හැබැයි index feature එක බලෙන් දාගන්න පුළුවන්. Just by adding a counter. While loop has index feature. So definitely while loop has index feature. So this for loop is not having any indexes, just accessing the element, but that element thing you can convert to index by adding this another variable. Okay, that is how you access the element and index. Anyway, this is how you print the. Okay, then another question. You no need to answer this question because answer is already given. Write a program to add 10 inputs to a list and iterate through this and find the yes, you need to do. Iterate through this and find the maximum and minimum from that list. Okay. So please do this now. Write a program to add 10 inputs. Input 10ක් දාන්න කියලා කියන්නේ. To add elements, you can use this. And after adding, you have to find the maximum and minimum from that. You have to find the maximum and minimum. You do this now. ඉක්මනට කරන්න. You can share the screen once you're done, right? So how can we do this? Add 10 elements. Okay, let me write as another number, another function. Def add numbers. So we are going to declare empty list. Say marks, just empty list, and then you can say num equal input, int input, enter marks, and you are going to do this for 10 times, right? For k in range, you're going to do this for 10 times. Add the marks and then append that to the marks list. Marks.append. Okay, that will and finally you have to return marks, right? Let's save this and run this. Valid syntax. Let's forget about this. I'm going to comment all these things. Otherwise, it's printing this big list. Okay, add numbers. Enter marks, enter marks, enter marks, enter marks again, 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 and one more and done. You can add 10 marks like. After that, you have to find the maximum and the minimum. Okay, to find the maximum, def find max, then the list. So you need to do something like this. We have done this in loops, but the loops are bigger. You can say max element is list the 0th element. 0th is the max. Then you can iterate for element in LST if that element is bigger than the current max element, then you have to tell that is the max element. May 0th is the max. Initially, when you start, this is the max, right? 34 is the max. But if something is bigger, something means all these elements. If something is bigger than this max element, and that is the max. So finally, you are going to return the max. Return the max. And finding minimum element is also the same. Finding minimum element, it's also the same. Minimum element is, you can say, the min element or mn element. Here also mn element and mn element, min element. Here also min element. So what we are going to do? So the initiated zeros is the minimum. Zero is the minimum. But if something is less than that, then that is the minimum. Okay, now let's execute this today. And before returning this, I'm going to return marks, as well as I'm going to return find max marks and find min marks. Okay, save this, run it again, and then add numbers. Okay, you can see the first is the list, then the maximum, then the minimum. I'm returning everything together, right? List, then the maximum, then the minimum. Returning everything as. So here actually this is a tuple. When you have the brackets, it's a tuple. Okay, you can do this like this. You can say result equal add numbers. Then you have to enter the numbers. Okay, 10 numbers. Then you can say print list is, then you can print the result 0. That is the list. Okay, list is this. Print max is result 1 and min is result 2. Okay, min is 34. Right, now I have written 3 functions to insert the numbers, find the maximum, and find the minimum. So if anything difficult, please tell me. Then I have just inserted these 10 numbers and then find the maximum, found the maximum, and found. Let me know if anything difficult before writing, then otherwise. So if you think that is harder, then I can help you understand. Difficult list define කරලා ඒ list එකට numbers 10ක් input කරනවා ඒ 10න් මෙයා අඩුම වැඩිම කෙනා වෙනවා මෙයා අඩුම කෙනා. ඉතින් මේ තුනම එකතු කරලා මෙයා return කරනවා. අඩුම කෙනායි වැඩිම කෙනායි කොහොම return කරනවා. මෙයාගෙන් ඊට පස්සේ අපිට අවශ්‍ය විදියට ගන්න පුළුවන්. result එකේ 0 කියන්නේ. මෙන්න මෙතනින් පල්ලට මේක ලියාගත්තා නම් you write this one, the highlighted part in the program and highlighted part in the results both. Okay, now good.